Let's talk about it. We got lots to say. Let's talk about it.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk About It. Man, happy hump day.
Yeah.
This weather is amazing.
We haven't had weather like this in so long.
It is absolutely amazing. We're coming to you out of Elmwood, Louisiana.
Right by Metairie.
Right by Metairie. It's one zip code over.
Thank you.
Here we are in our newly designed studio, and man, we look amazing here. My name is Willie Mackie. I'm going to be your co-host for the evening. And right now I want to introduce my best friend, my girlfriend, my only friend, the hostess with the mostest. Y'all put it together for Miss Misti, Gaither.
Thank you, everybody. And it's so good to be here at Moxie Studios, let me tell you. I mean, this is a
big time.
This is a big time.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do or how to act, but you know what? I'm learning.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start sponsoring things from the page, like every 30 minutes we get a different drink or something like that we could talk about.
That'll be great.
I think I should do that. I think I'm going to do that.
I think the Lord says yes.
Okay, well.
All right, there we go. I just don't know if the Lord will say the PP, but I mean out loud. Of course, I'll be thinking it, but I think that would be great.
We could just do it on paper. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll hold up Michelle Obama, and then, right.
We can't even say that on the air.
Well, yeah. We can say that.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
can't just say Michelle Obama.
I can't hold her up, but I have to have.
It took us a year and a half to get programs made because one of the drinks was called the Michelle Obama.
Right.
And the company could not print Michelle Obama. And they printed Michelle O. And I said no for a whole year and a half. And we still don't have it printed.
So you know who we talking about, Michelle.
So we change the name to the first lady and get on with it,
There was a famous Jackie O, now Michelle O.
Michelle O, yeah, there you
Right.
go. Hey, I like that. I never thought about that.
That Rodney, he's
Yeah.
just, we have our guest tonight, Rodney Thoulion. He is from Project Lazarus, and we will be talking later all about the wonderful event fundraiser that he has coming up this Saturday called Bon Appetit and, I believe, champagne.
And champagne,
Someplace-
desserts and champagne.
And
Cocktails.
Oh, no, that sounds like my kind of party. If y'all wonder where I'm at on Saturday, I'll see you at Generations Hall.
That's
right?
where it'll be.
Right. So, I mean, this has been a week. Like you said, the weather has been just
Phenomenal. Well, other than the
mostly.
torrential downfall we had yesterday, everything else was fine.
Right. We have to take the good
With the bad.
with the bad.
That's right. To get to the good.
The no pumps with the pumps. You gotta it's really I think if they would doing a betting maybe in Vegas or something, you're like, okay, are the pumps gonna the odds 30-1 or one's gonna show out or
But at least we did not have the big mudslide that they had in the desert out for the Burning Man contest. That was the craziest thing.
Ooh, that was wild.
that was bad.
Yeah.
So there are blessings always in disguise, everyone. So some of you may have had the flooding,
Yeah.
but you didn't have the Burning Man mudslides.
That's right. Yeah, and in case you're not aware, we're talking about drainage pumps, not 6-inch heel pumps, because
Right,
decadence
drainage.
just passed too. People might think you're talking about pumps.
Talking about them.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised. Pumps, oh yeah. No, sis, sit down. We're talking about
Drainage
Drainage
pumps in the
the
city.
craziest part about the drainage pumps right now, at this moment, all the pumps should be on and operable because we're in hurricane season. Every pump should have already been tested and put on. I mean,
Yes.
there is no logical reason for a pump not to be on during hurricane season. Absolutely zero.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for the past 35 to 40 years, it floods under the overpass at Canal Boulevard.
yes.
And they have never fixed that.
But they went in, they put all that stuff in there, and the
I know.
pump is off.
It still doesn't work.
You appreciate. Well, they said, well, we did install pumps.
They did. You got to cut them on.
You got to do working pumps.
You got to
Yes.
cut them on. They look great. I
Yeah.
mean, man,
They probably look brand new since they're not used.
Like, if they don't work, if they have a crank, I'll go out and hand
Yes.
crank it next time. I mean, what
Yeah.
do they need?
Was that you that posted on Facebook the video about the canal? Was that you or someone?
It wasn't a video. I just had a picture of
Okay, that was
Canal
you.
Boulevard and said, how long is it going to take you to fix this? It's like every storm, it floods under there, and the news media knows exactly where to go because it floods every time someone urinates in that area. You
But
know, so they run out there.
They put millions of dollars into that project, and they ran all the pipes. What is the issue?
What is the issue?
Maybe the pipes went the wrong way. I don't know.
I know, and
But
someone inevitably loses their car every time.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you always got that one person, I can make it.
I can make
Oh,
it.
they're behind on their car notes, so they'll get
Right.
Hey, that's an idea. Wait, yes, we can get through that, fam. Right. Y'all take my car now. You can find it or
You can have
fish
this
it
one.
out.
Yeah.
So Friday night is the view upstairs. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
We had last week, Willie and I had Amy Kirk.
Yeah.
She is the marketing director at JPAS, the Jefferson Performing Arts Society, in Metairie.
In Metairie.
In Metairie.
7000 something.
Right. That's where it's at. And they're going, Friday's the kickoff, the premiere, the opening night. We're going to be there.
We'll be there.
Yep. And so it's really a great, it's actually a prequel to The Fire. I mean, it talks a little bit about the fire, but it's really like the set. I don't know if you've seen a picture of the set yet.
Yes.
It looks hauntingly almost identical. Marshall Harris did it.
Yes.
Hauntingly identical to the the set of the thing.
Yeah, there it is right
So
there.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to be there on opening night, and we got some pictures, and they still have tickets, I believe, so you can go on jpas.org and buy some tickets and show your support. And even the wallpaper is like
It's the identical wallpaper that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is going to be the prequel.
The prequel.
If you will, but it's the night of, and it's the big party because there was a big party that night. So this whole thing takes place at the party. And when you come in, you'll feel the whole vibe of being in a party and
The
everything
70s.
like that.
It's
Yeah,
going to
the
be a
70s,
disco
yeah.
70s. And guess what? We get to meet, which we know some of them already, but afterwards we get to go meet some of the cast and crew
wow,
and
great.
the peoples.
Well, we could invite them to the page.
We could. We could all, they could get a bus.
Yeah.
And we all could load up and come to the page and have an after party at the. I love
just
it.
don't see
I'm
why
gonna write
not.
that
Yeah, I
down.
don't
The
see why
page
not.
bus,
Yes.
right?
I don't know about the bus thing, but we'll see.
Well, that I kind of was like shining the light on them because me and Willie we're tapped out this week. Sorry, but
It's right around the corner.
right. We'll get there. But they have a video. If Brandon, if you're ready for that we're going to show a little snippet of the play. So here we go.
Wow.
But it's alright. I haven't seen him since then, but I've been born again. The world was dangerous, and you chose a bad.
Pretty nice.
is
Huh?
nice.
Lots
That's
of
very nice, yeah.
dancing and original songs. The playwright Max Vernon, he's going to be there, and so we'll get to meet him in
That's gonna be
person.
awesome.
And I'm really looking forward to it. And like I said, they may have some tickets available. The 8th is the opening night, but there are other dates that the show will be shown. Yeah. So, okay, I have to bring this up. What is up with the Nichols professor that got fired with the fetish?
What happened?
The professor evidently has a clown fetish, and he would tell his female students, he has a face painting fetish, and where he would say, let me paint your face for extra credit.
What?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the professor, this isn't his first rodeo into this painting realm. He was actually, this is his second time being dismissed because of it.
And this wasn't the drama department, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
This was reported from the school newspaper.
Wow.
He got on Reddit and was using these fancy words that he uses in class, and then someone, a detective evidently, was like, wait, Mr. clown or whatever his name is, just used this big word the other day. This is the same guy. So he was dismissed from.
This is John Wayne Gacy all
This is
over
right.
again.
John Wayne Gacy has rose from the dead, and
What?
yes,
is
don't
going
go to
on?
his mama's house, y'all.
What?
Yes, and so he was working at Kent University, wherever that is. You know where that is?
Wow.
Actually, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He was working there and got out of hand, got out of pocket.
Wow.
And so they time to go.
So I think as a student, and I'm studying anthropology,
Right.
and my professor walks up to me and say, "Let me paint your face for extra credit." Something has to go through my mind, like there's something wrong here. What?
And the female students.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
like,
And they did it?
well, I don't know if all,
Well-
there was probably, there's got to be a couple that did
Well,
it.
of course.
I mean, if
And
it
I
was-
would probably be on that list for that extra credit.
Well, it would have to pertain to the subject that you're studying, like
Well, I didn't get
Willie
that
said
far.
anthropology,
Right.
that, we're talking about the Incas or whatever, and can I paint your face like
Like an
them?
Inca?
Right.
That's different.
Yes.
But I mean, if you're just painting a face like a clown and,
If you're in the art department.
you're in math.
you-
Right. If you're right. If you're in
There's
calculus
really
or
something
trigonometry,
weird about that.
can I paint your face like John Wayne Gacy, and then all of a sudden,
you have to just sit there and say,
Yeah.
like Bozo,
There's
clown, can I
something
paint
wrong
you?
with this.
Right. And so
My God.
a student, a female student, the reason he got dismissed in Kent was because the female student was uncomfortable and went to
You think?
Yeah. I'd be like, how much extra credit? Like
Wow.
50 points?
Right.
I mean, it wash off. But anyway,
I don't
no,
have
but
to show up for
seriously,
the rest of the
all right,
semester.
I'm
You
like,
pass
good
me?
for the rest of the year. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, come
Yeah.
on, paint,
do this
paint,
cheek
paint.
and this cheek, and then we'll just go from there.
Right. We got that. But yeah, so anyway, he got dismissed. Surprise,
Well, good.
surprise. Yeah,
Good.
as he should, because
Yeah.
that's a form of sexual harassment.
Now
or
he's
something.
working for a clown rodeo.
Right now. Now he's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy at probably Angola.
And I go,
Right, and they run out there to
prison
Almost
rodeo.
sure he's
Like
not at
a bull.
Angola. I'm
No,
almost
he's
sure.
at the prison
well,
rodeo.
wherever
now.
if he was, he's learned to run fast.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's incredible.
This,
I just-
this digressed very fast.
Well, that's the show.
Wow.
That's the show. I saw it and I was like, oh, got fired for clown fetish. I got to read about this. This is crazy. And it just got crazier and crazier. And I was like, I've got to share this. I knew y'all would appreciate it. No, but anyway. I mean, just who has that mentality? Who nowadays think that you can get away with anything like
I
that?
still think it's up to the people who are studying math.
Right.
Well, you know what? Some people may be desperate in math.
Or extra credit.
Yeah, for extra credit.
Yeah,
Like, come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
paint me up. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a
Wow.
word to the wise or whatever. Just
Please don't
somebody-
get your face painted.
right clown.
Okay.
Right, you can get your face painted because there's a wonderful artists here in New Orleans area, but I guess maybe not for extra credit.
And don't take clown psychology.
And don't don't stay at the Clown Motel. It's at Nevada. I could not stay there.
Clown psychology.
I'm sure it's a thing.
It got to be. Listen.
Hey, they got clown school.
Well, but
do.
that is a thing though. That's really
it
a
is a
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
That's
that ain't like you
professional.
with trigonometry sitting
No,
there
no,
and
no.
somebody wanting to paint your face
No.
like a clown.
No. That's real. There is clown school, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't go to a university and say, hey,
Hey,
little girl.
right. You want some candy?
You want
and
some
your face painted? No, we cannot do that anymore. Oh, so
Wow.
I mean, that's just. I mean, I had to share it with my
Well,
two of my favorite guys.
I
just
think
had
you
to
just
share.
shared that with the whole world.
The whole
Right.
world knows.
Wow.
So if you have a clown fetish or anything, no, I'm sorry, but anyway, yeah, we don't want to know it.
We don't want to
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, so I don't know, it just kind of caught my eye.
Wow.
Okay, so Rodney,
Moving on.
let's segue. Let's segue into about Bon Appetit. Now, this is
Sure.
a very, very nice fundraiser for Project Lazarus.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that maybe we should talk first about what Project Lazarus does.
Sure. Project Lazarus began in 1985 and began with a priest called Father Paul DeRozier in the Archdiocese of New Orleans. He was pastor over at Holy Trinity Church, and at the time he saw people in the neighborhood getting very sick. People were coming to him asking for help. Lo and behold, Father Paul met with another priest who was a Franciscan priest, and now his name escapes me. Father Powell was his name, and he was at Tow House. And they both wanted to do something for the people of the French Quarter and the Marigny area. And lo and behold, they asked for Archbishop Hannon if they had space over at Holy Trinity, because they used to have a school at one time and the school was no longer being used, and if they could open up a hospice. And Archbishop Hannon at the time agreed to it, which I think in that that time period and stuff for the Catholic Church to agree to this,
Right.
seemed to really be kind of odd in a certain sense, that they would agree to it, but they did. And Project Lazarus opened as a hospice, probably for the first 5 years or so. Anyone who came in didn't survive. So people went there specifically to die.
Yeah.
So it was not a happy place. But these days we can tell you that, our slogan now is living in the positive, because as time has progressed, and we all know that medications have progressed, that people live longer now with HIV. We serve a different population than we served in the very beginning. In the very beginning, it was mostly LGBTQ people. We have a mixture of people who are there now, mostly the homeless who come to us now.
Okay.
And, because when you're homeless and you have nowhere to go, and you have no access to health care, and you have no access to medications, it's hard for you to get well and get on the road to recovery.
Correct.
So Project Lazarus exists for those people who really have nowhere to go. So first you have to be, have HIV to come to Project Lazarus. You have to be at a risk of being homeless. And, probably, most of the people that we see also have a secondary addiction to drugs or alcohol when they come to us. So when they come to us, we come to, as a positive living space for them, to give them the health and the care that they need. And recently with COVID, we did see someone come to us who was almost on the verge of death. And he was in UMC, and they kept asking him, well, where do you want to go when you leave here? Because they knew he couldn't stay there forever. And he said, I want to go to Project Lazarus. And he actually came to us, had a very low T-cell count. So with getting him the right medication, keeping him on care, whatever, this gentleman has, gained 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He's the picture of health today.
Great.
He's doing yard work for us at Project Lazarus. So, it just goes to show you what a good home environment can do for people, along with good nutrition, good medication, good health care. And that's what we provide today at Project Lazarus, which is much different than we provided many years ago, which it was a very grim situation many years ago. And today it's a happier situation because people can come and live in the positive and be positive about the outcome that's going to happen for them. So we have some very loving people over at Project Lazarus, our clinical director, our directors of support over there. Our cook, Miss Shirley, is fabulous. I want to eat her cooking most of the time. I walk in the house and you smell it. So we're a small nonprofit working off of a small budget and, getting tighter by the day because federal monies keep drying up for, for housing and for Ryan White funding. And we still wonder down the line, with Congress, it's like, Ryan White funding is the only funding that comes from Congress that is for a specific disease. And sooner or later, when is Congress going to say, well, you're just like diabetes or you're just like heart disease and you're just like the others. People are living a longer period of time with this. Why are we still funding you? But we can thank to this day Ryan White's mother, who goes before Congress every year and begs and pleads for Ryan White funding for people with HIV. So it still exists. Hopefully they keep the money coming because it's well needed. People in our community act like HIV is gone.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. We are still at epidemic proportions. Listen, everyone, we are at epidemic proportions in New Orleans. We have never fallen out of the top 10 cities in this country for new infections since the early days of this. I mean, I can say for the past 20 to 30 years, I know we have been in the top 10 for new infections in this city.
Wow.
And today there really is no reason for it.
Right. Yeah.
There is no reason that if you're not on PrEP and you're negative, you should be on PrEP. If you're not seeing your doctor to get your medications, and to stay undetectable, because as we all know today, U equals U. Undetectable means untransmittable. So if you're out there and you've had HIV before and you had a low T cell count and today you're undetectable, you cannot pass that virus on to anyone else. So we have the tools in our arsenal to end HIV as we know it today. But people have to take their part and role in it, and they have to say, I need to stay on top of my status, and I need to take the medications that are out there
And
to protect myself.
on top of what you're saying, following up, there has been a lull in advertising of, all of a
Yes.
sudden there's this big ramp up
Yes.
campaign to put the word out there like, we're still here.
Right.
I mean, we are still here.
We are still here.
This is not going away. And we have people who was 10 years old 10 years ago that are now 20 years old who still come up in a different society that think that it won't happen to me.
Right.
Well, it will. It
Yes.
absolutely will. And
Absolutely.
you have more of a chance now than ever before. Even though all the medicine and everything, there's a big ramp up now, a big campaign going on to educate people on HIV right now.
Sure. And before Project Lazarus, I worked at Crescent Care, formerly No AIDS Task Force.
Yeah.
And the young people in this community say, well, HIV is not my disease.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't tell you the number of young people who came to us who tested positive for HIV. It is your disease. Just because you have medication and the situation isn't as dire,
Yeah.
you're still part of an issue when you say, it's not my disease. That was their disease back then.
And back then, if any one of those persons who had died would have literally died to have the opportunity to be living today with everything that we have today,
Absolutely.
would
Right.
beg for it,
Yep.
And it's
Yes.
that is a management, self-management of your health. You
Yep.
have to be able to manage your health, and you can do it
Absolutely.
privately. There are counselors out there everywhere.
Yes.
Everybody's begging just to talk. You could do it privately, but just stay on top of your health.
Absolutely.
It's
and
incredible.
there is health care out there. I mean, if you don't have insurance, you can get on government insurance. Like I said, there's Ryan White healthcare money out there that I know Crescent Care gets. Project Lazarus gets part of that money. And I'm sure there are other healthcare facilities that get some of Ryan White funding as well. That money is there to help people who do not have insurance.
Right.
But you can get on, if you can afford to get government insurance or the healthcare.gov to go on and
Right.
sign up and get your own insurance, please do that.
Yeah.
Make health a priority in your life, because it's not only all of that stuff. Now the people with HIV who have lived this long, they have HIV, but they also have heart disease. They also have diabetes.
Yeah.
They also have other things, and one of the reasons that No AIDS Task Force expanded into Crescent Care, is that people were coming to Crescent Care for HIV medications and realizing, well, they have all kinds of other things as well.
Yeah.
It's like you're living longer, you're living with that. Now you have heart disease. Now you have high blood pressure. Now you have all of these things, so it's like you need to take care of that. But HIV, again, is at epidemic proportions in our community, and we have the tools to bring it down.
Yeah.
And we need to do that. as you know, I can't preach it enough.
And-
But we
and-
don't hear it enough.
I was just about to say we
don't.
have to keep saying it.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be said over and over and over again. And don't be afraid if you're out there and you're scared. Just find somebody that's willing to talk to you and ask.
Absolutely.
Just ask, because the information is there. You can get it privately. You know,
Yep.
you don't have to be ashamed of anything, because it's all done within you. I
Yep.
mean, the information is there. Don't be afraid to ask. But we have to keep saying it. We
That's
have
right.
to keep putting it out, because it's not going away.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's just not.
You know, and Gilead has a promotion for, most of the medications that they have.
Yeah.
I currently take Descovy for PrEP.
Yeah. So do I.
And I don't pay anything for
Yeah.
it. Never have. Since I'm on Descovy,
Yeah.
I was on Truvada
Yeah.
in the beginning. Haven't paid a dime for
I haven't
for
paid
any of
anything,
it.
and I've been on the Gilead program from the beginning.
That's right.
When PrEP first came out, I was like, I want to be the face of this, so that my little community
Right.
can see that, yeah, this is, because when PrEP came out, it was the most negative advertisement for it. Like, that doesn't exist. This is just a man trying to take you over. And I'm like,
Right.
God, wait, whoa.
Yes.
And we held prep parties. We held prep commentations, like bringing people in to understand. We brought in noise. We brought in
Yes.
Crescent Care. We brought them in just to educate people on what prep really was and what it really did. And they were like, no, this just
Yep.
came out. No, before prep hit the market, it was 21 years old. You know, that study was just so long, and now here it is. And we got people out there bringing in the negative feedback about
Yep.
it, when it's the greatest thing that ever happened.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
And ladies, you can take it too.
Yes,
It's
why
not
not?
just for men.
Yes.
It's for ladies too.
Yes.
So it's like women can take it. You know, we know that you have boyfriends on the down low.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know who your partner is sleeping
Yeah.
with. Just to be on the safe side. It's one of those things. I met a nurse practitioner one day, and we were talking about high cholesterol and stuff, and
Yeah.
he felt like, he said, like, in this city here, they should just put it in the water. And I guess
Or the alcohol.
so. I guess I kind of feel the same way
Yeah.
about prep and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be in the water.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it's the old mentality that it's not going to happen to me,
Right.
And this city is fast.
Yeah.
It is very fast.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many young people have reached out to me to say, I'm HIV positive. What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad to me
Yeah.
that that's their first contact with me, where it should have been, I don't want to get HIV. What
should
can
I
I
do?
do?
Yes.
Right.
But their first contact with me was, I have it. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
And that's pretty sad, because you have the medication where you should never have that.
But it's the playground that they're playing at.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, my dad told me, do not change your playground ever. Change your playmates,
Yeah.
because it's the people around you that are preventing you from getting the help and information that you need. Not you, but it's
Yep.
everything else around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me just say, too, that if you're HIV positive and you do nothing about it, you die just like back in the 80s
That's
and
right.
90s.
That's right.
You still die.
Yeah.
And it's still as dire as it was back then.
Yeah.
So you have to do something about it if you have it. And you should do something about it if you don't have it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important,
Yep.
because I was you were talking about the funding and how that threat of it being cut always looming over you. You don't never know
Right.
what's going to happen, and so that's why it's important for us as a community to support. Especially Project Lazarus and these events that y'all
Sure.
have, to that way you can educate more and get more of it out there to those that really need it. And like the dessert and champagne party, I mean, you still have tickets available, and where can
Yep.
people go? And
Yeah.
How much is it? How
Yeah,
much is it?
it's a minimum of $50 donation, and you get into Generations Hall, and it's we're gonna have entertainment. We have Debbie with a D coming to do
I
some,
love Debbie
some
with a D.
drag.
Everybody loved Debbie with
Debbie with a D.
Yeah, I love her.
So we're having some fantastic desserts from Nona Randazzo's across the lake.
Yes.
We're having Boucherie is giving us desserts. We're having
Some big hitters.
yeah, Aunt Sally's Pralines,
Yes.
New Orleans
Oh.
School of Cooking.
Yes.
Wow.
Monday's Morrow,
Yes.
they're giving desserts. So we're having some big heavy hitters, donate to this. And all the money goes into helping us house people with HIV. And while you may not think, or people from, of my generation, of my community might say, well, I don't see my face there anymore. That's not a reason not to donate. We're supposed to be here to take care of the entire community, and the homeless population is some of the most at risk that we have in this community. And then homeless with HIV is just a whole nother level on top of it.
So how big is Lazarus House? I mean, because most people may never even heard of Lazarus House.
Sure.
How big is Lazarus House?
Sure. Lazarus, we can accept up to 25 people in residence at a time. And they're coming and going at all times because it's, again, you have to remember it's transitional housing.
Yes.
So when the person feels like they're well enough and they're moving on, we help them find, either Section 8 housing or low income housing, and they want to move out and be on their own and be self-sufficient. Yes. That's what we want for them. So we see a different amount of people filtering through all the time. Now with Hurricane Ida that happened last year, because the buildings got water damage in them that we still haven't reconciled with the insurance company of fixing our buildings, we can only take half of the amount of people, so we're only currently at 13.
I got you.
So, but we're building back up as soon as we can get, our funding back from insurance to fix our housing and to be able to ramp ourselves back up to accept more people.
And do you all accept I'm not monetary donations, but donations like clothing and things like that, toiletries and
we
food?
accept clothing and toiletries. People always want to give us used bedding, but we like to give people when they come to us. We want them to feel welcome.
Yes.
We don't want to give them too many hand-me-downs from somebody else. We want them to have a fresh pillow. We want them to have fresh sheets. We want it to be a good experience for them. People have this concept of just because they're homeless, they should be thankful for anything they get.
Right.
And it's like, to a certain extent, yes, but it's like, people shouldn't always have to accept, I'm not going to give this person who comes in somebody's used underwear.
Exactly.
It's like, you need to treat people with dignity and respect.
That's wonderful.
So we try to give them as much new stuff as we can when they come in as well. New socks, new underwear.
Okay.
Stuff of that nature. We like gently used clothes. We don't want rags
that
that you've been painting in all day long and I'll just give this shirt right here.
Yeah.
We want it to be a thoughtful donation and something that somebody would be grateful to have or wear.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
And we do accept some pantry items. Biggest thing is toiletries. And also feminine hygiene, which a lot of people don't think about. And that was something when I worked at Crescent Care with our Food for Friends pantry, many people didn't think about feminine hygiene products.
Right.
That you need that as well.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Y'all are having an auction.
Oh, we're having an amazing auction that goes along with this.
All right, because I believe we have some. You can see some of the items for auction that'll be coming up.
Yep, you can register for the auction. You can text Bon Appetit to 243-725, and that will get you in to register for the auction. And bidding is open now, even though we're not having it until Saturday. You can start bidding on items now.
And don't that text to.
Yes.
It's not text at. Don't try to go on X and register for the auction. It's text Bon Appetit to TO 243-725.
Yes. Do not use the at sign.
Do not use the at sign.
Yeah. Put 243 when you're texting, 243-725, and then type Bon Appetit and send it, and it'll send you back a link.
Yes.
And that way it'll take you right to registering for the auction page, actually. And we have some amazing auction items, artwork, staycations, restaurant gift certificates, View Orleans. where you can, that's the thing with the
With the hotel.
the hotel.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't think of the name of it. Why am I?
The 4 columns. in
Yeah,
it.
the Four Seasons.
The Four
Four
Seasons.
Seasons.
Yes,
I knew
at the
we'd
top
get
of
it.
the Four Seasons.
Felt like we were playing password for a minute there. At the top of the Four Seasons is
right.
New Orleans.
Yes.
So, there's that gift certificate. There's American Townhouse gave us a gift certificate. I'm trying to think of who else. We had tons of gift certificates.
Brandon, do
But,
we have that picture of one of the artworks? The what was that?
Tina Marie.
Tina Marie.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
a beautiful angel artwork by Tina Marie that is up for auction. It is not framed, but it's a beautiful figure. And we have a lot of art
That is really
items
nice.
like that. Artists like David McPherson in the community. So please go there, take a look, take a gander at what we have. We even have antique hurricane lamps. You name it, just a bunch of different auction items, and all of this money is going to go towards our residents over at Project Lazarus.
Well, this sounds like a tremendous
nice,
event.
huh?
It's an
Yeah.
amazing event because not really anybody is doing a dessert event.
Right.
So I know years ago, maybe it was Channel 12 used to do, some kind of Sunday event or whatever where it was ice cream Sundays.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have this big dessert event.
I can't wait.
And champagne.
I can't.
And champagne. And
I
cocktail.
had me at champagne and dessert.
Dessert, champagne, cocktail.
In that order. In that order.
A mess.
In
and
that order.
entertainment and a DJ.
Hey.
Debbie with a
I'll
D.
let
What more can we ask
Debbie-
for all that?
Debbie with a D. Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. No
And it's
doubt.
9 until midnight. So, I mean, it's really even later than you think because some of these Bon Appetit began as a party. People had host parties in their home.
Okay.
And then afterwards, the kind of coup de grace of all of it was you got together at this dessert after party.
Oh, I read about
But now we're
that.
billing it just as a dessert party. So you don't have to go to anyone's party to come to the after party. You can just pay your $50 and come to this party if you want. So,
I like it.
But some people will invite you to the parties in their home that they have. And you give a $50 donation there. You eat whatever food they have there, and then you go to the after party.
Nice.
Awesome.
So it's a pretty cool concept, pretty cool event.
Well, let's talk about our sponsors real quick. We always got to show respect and love to our sponsors, and then we'll get back to some Project Lazarus and talk about that airplane. And we got some. Willie's gonna leave after this. He barely made it through the clown painting and thing. But so we have Chef Ron's Gumbo Stop, where you will get award-winning gumbo from a wonderful award-winning chef. Chef Ron's, I can't say enough about the man
Big
and
old
the
hug
food.
from him Sunday during the parade. He was having the time of his life.
And he deserves it.
He definitely deserves.
He
He had a
deserves it.
chance to get from behind that kitchen and enjoy himself.
That's how you do it. Louisiana Pizza Kitchen, Uptown, Rob and the staff there. Every Wednesday is Wednesdays for family and friends. Half off the adult beverages,
Can't say enough
including wine.
about both of those
Both of them,
Amazing.
guys, Chef
Amazing.
Ron and Rob Gearhart,
Yes.
two amazing people
Yes.
in the community.
We went and had, I think it was Monday, we had dinner at LPK. It was really good. And I always get the same thing.
You gotta try it. You gotta.
That's what Catherine, she's
You
like,
just got
do
to."
not get that. And I'm like, I'm getting it, So for those of you who do not know, the Thai chicken pasta is very good. I can't seem to get away from it.
Just gotta try it.
Right. Area 51 Gallery, if you'll notice our buttons, and also have, I love Scooby-Doo, and Rocket gave me one this week with Scooby on it. So I have Lez Talk About It pins, and you can also have pins, magnets for your business or events or Mardi Gras balls, anything coming up. Like you can even use them like to, like it could be numbered for people to get into events and different things. So check with Rocket at Area 51 Gallery. The Gulf South LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce, wonderful organization, like I always say, all about networking like-minded individuals, and it doesn't matter if you have 300 employees. If you're just the employee or your grandma's the employee, they don't care. It's very economical, and they have seminars and classes and events to help you be a better business person. So be sure to check them out. And we're a silver sponsor, and we're very proud to sponsor the Chamber of Commerce Bourbon Pride, where it's not, you can get all your pride needs there. You can get your.
They ran out of stuff this weekend.
Oh, I bet they did. I bet they did.
They ran out of a lot of stuff.
And that's what it's about. That's what
it's
reordering's for. Yeah.
Probably ran out of fans. Though.
Right. I thought I saw you with "Bitch Please" or something. They have fans. They have underwear. They have everything. Candles. I mean, just anything that you want. Bourbon Pride, be sure to check them out. They got it. Metropolitan Community Church, Pastor Lonnie Sheremy, and the congregation, all they want to do is just welcome you every Sunday. You don't have to go every Sunday, but their doors are open every Sunday at 10 a.m., and they will make you feel welcome and just like you belong and that you are truly a part of their congregation. The Page Bar, wish I knew who the owner was. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's here.
My brother, Willie and Mackie. Wonderful. It's right on the corner of North Rampart and Toulouse.
Yes.
You just park
And have a good time.
and have a good
So
time.
what Sunday starts is every Sunday for a Saints game, no matter if they're playing home or not, we always serve a buffet. And all you have to do is buy a drink, and you have a buffet during the entire game.
Oh,
and
wow.
it is massive.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we really go overboard. And then my staff looking at me like, who's going to clean this up?
And you're like, oh, you.
But we're just asking to buy a drink, and we lay it out. Because I'm a big tailgater, so I love tailgating. And I can't get to the game anymore, so I do it right there at the bar.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, always a good time at the Page.
Yeah.
I've been on a Monday, and I've been on a Saturday, and I've been on a Thursday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before, and it doesn't matter what day of the week you go, it's always a great time.
Great time.
Right. Kelly Elaine Photography for your promo, like your
Beautiful
promo pics.
headshots, yeah.
Wonderful. The headshots, like wedding pictures, senior portraits, sports. It doesn't matter. They do it all. They do a wonderful job. And also Lefty Lucy's Burlesque Bingo, where this coming up Wednesday, the 13th, we will be there live at the Burlesque Bingo. No, we are the opening act. We usually are once a month for her bingo. And I'm really excited because our guest will be the one and the only, a living New Orleans legend in the broadcasting world, Scoot on the air.
Scoot on air.
Scoot pays on.
Yes, and he is going to be our guest, and he really perked up. You know, he was kind of excited about being on the show because
Good.
he was a guest last year.
Yeah, he was.
And then he was excited, but then when I threw in the word burlesque, it was just like, hell yeah, I'll be there. And I'm like, well, you know, after the show, we normally stay. I'm staying. So the show will be live 5 to 5:45 p.m., and then bingo will be at 6. Go get your tickets. It's Lefty's birthday, and so it's going to be a big deal. She's going to have a lot of giveaways, a lot of prizes, and also next Friday is going to be her second birthday celebration. It's called 40 over 40.
Oh, wow.
And so it's going to be Friday night. We already got our tickets. You need to get yours too. And it's going to be amazing. Lots of acts that are over 40.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then last but not least, we have Jefferson Performing Arts Society that are also our sponsors. And please go on to jpas.org and you will see their new season kicks off this Friday with the view upstairs, and it's going to be a really good time. As you can tell, they got Steel Magnolias looped, noises off. I mean, so many, and this is just a fraction of what's going to be going on for their 46th season. So be sure to check them out and get your tickets. Get your tickets. So I just want to say a very special thank you to all of our sponsors. Really means a lot to me, and thank you so much for supporting the show. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about the Bon Appetit. I've done picked out which ones I'm going to. I think Willie has too.
I have.
Yeah. And so and we're going to the view upstairs
Cool.
together. Yeah. So about this plane, should we even talk about? I think we should.
Do you want to talk about the plane?
Yeah. Well, y'all got. I mean, this like y'all made it through. Willie, like I said, he's kind of
Made it
looking
through
at the
the
door.
clown.
Right. You made it through the clown fetish face painting professor from Nichols. So according to rumor, Rodney, TMZ, which Rodney quoted.
That's right.
So we were talking about. I don't.
It was also on NBC News.
Oh,
So
there you go.
This is
There
a
you go.
reliable source. TMZ
Them,
may not be.
Right. NBC News and us. Who else you need? I don't know. I don't even listen to NBC News anyway. So we were discussing how so many people that we're noticing are getting kind of under the weather with things. Seems to be. I'm putting it delicately.
Yeah, seems to be.
I don't want nobody getting the vapors on me. But seems to be there was a plane ride. Where were they going?
They were going to Spain from Atlanta.
I've heard about
And-
this.
You heard about
I
it?
heard about it this morning.
And they were in the air.
Yes,
What-
they were.
And
But
they.
the only thing that was on my mind was like, oh my God, there's only 2 bathrooms.
I know. And they had to radio down because some guy just had diarrhea all over the plane. They declared it a biohazard and had to turn the plane around. Now, I'm wondering, like, what was he wearing that it became a biohazard? And
But
like,
how much diarrhea?
and was he spraying everywhere?
How much diarrhea could you have to take down the plane?
That's what I'm saying.
Was he wearing like little skimpy Beyonce shorts? Or what was he wearing?
Or was he a Swiftie?
Oh my God.
But they
What
did
did he
declare it
eat?
a biohazard.
There's so many questions. I think they closed down the Juan Julio's or whatever that was there at the airport. They're like, no more. But it's to me, it's just like you're home and you're like, I got it bad. No, you don't. Have you brought down a plane?
Have you brought down a plane?
That's
Exactly.
The,
If you
that's-
brought down a plane.
that is it. From
Like,
now
are
on.
you in the bathroom?
I wouldn't have believed it, but even Lester
And
Holt
all of a sudden, first
reported
class.
this.
I read Yahoo News has it.
Well,
and
there you go.
CNN I was on CNN and I skipped through and I was like, wow, what? And when I read it, I ran straight through it like there was diarrhea over the whole plane. Like everybody
like
on the
everybody,
plane
yeah.
had diarrhea. And I'm thinking, but there's only 2 bathrooms, so
Right.
they got to have all over the place.
Right.
And then after I get into it, it was just this one guy.
One guy.
One guy. And so
One
he's
guy.
probably towards the back of the plane, and probably first class is like, what's that? What? And the pilot's
Is
like,
that the fish?
Yeah.
what is that? Ma'am, I don't take his fish back.
And it's like,
I don't want this
have
fish
you
you're
ever
serving.
personally been declared a biohazard?
I can't say I have. Willie, have you?
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Now, this is one for the scholars. I mean, when you told me that, I laughed. And Lord, please don't curse me tomorrow when I shut down the GNO or something.
Right.
It was like, I mean, who does that?
Well, the only way that can happen is he was on his way to get a colonoscopy, and he was had
Right.
did that 24-hour fasting.
Yeah.
That's the only way that could
So
have
you
happened.
get on a plane.
It's either that or he ate at Taco Bell in the airport.
That'll do it every time. But it had to be some ingestion that he had that he should not have taken especially to Spain. That's
Spain.
not like a 4-hour flight.
No.
Spain was like, we don't want him.
Yeah.
I'll take him back to Atlanta. We don't
Turn
want
around.
him in we can't handle this biohazard.
But that's the only
I think
reason.
the Ukraine took him as defense
Yeah,
against
Right.
I
Russia.
probably would just fly him over Russia.
I think Ukraine took him.
Ooh,
Zelensky said, "Send him my way." I
right,
think
we
I
got
can
we got a
use
job for him. We got a
Stick him
job.
upside down on a truck and just ride him to the front line.
So you've heard it here, folks. We talked about dessert and champagne and
And a little diarrhea. How about that?
diarrhea and like and being a biohazard. I mean, how do you come back from that?
I
Because
don't
you know people's videoing and taking pictures
But
of
so
you.
now that's a question. So like once he clears up and thickens up, he's not going to be allowed back on the
He
plane.
ain't gonna be allowed anywhere. They have a picture of
Can't
him at
imagine.
every maitre d'. Yes, a table of one. Oh,
No, not you.
we got this picture.
No,
No,
Mr. Raymond.
we're good. We're full.
We're full.
3-hour wait past 3 weeks. Yes.
I thought about that all morning. Like I was like, wow. How?
Like there's questions, and I'm sorry. I mean, it's not a subject, but it is because it's newsworthy.
Well,
That was newsworthy. It made it to the news.
you took down
Made
a
it here?
plane.
Yep.
Took down a plane. Snakes on the plane, but something else on the plane.
The snakes didn't even take the plane down.
The snakes would have left.
Yeah, the snakes probably would have left.
They would have left
Would
too.
have hid in their little hole.
Something.
I would have went out there.
Well, I mean, in the whole realm of the presidential candidate who remains nameless, I mean, it just goes hand in glove with the rest of the S going on in the world.
Well, they could have sent him back to Atlanta. They could have sent him back to Florida. That's what you're saying. They could have went. Oh, we're gonna drop you off in Florida. This place here, plenty of holes. Right.
Yeah, maybe it was the president who remains nameless. Maybe he was the one on there that was full of and let it all out finally. Maybe
so.
it was him.
Finally exploded.
Finally,
It was just like, can't. Well, on that tidbit there in entertaining
God.
news, our new show, yes, it's nothing about this. It's not about
You
bodily
better hope
function.
it's not.
I hope not. Because they'll be like, they're going to cancel us over this. But
well, look,
my sponsors
Jerry Seinfeld made a show about nothing.
And went on for
Yada,
7
yada.
years.
It went on for 7
Literally
years.
did not have it. But you know what I saw today? And I don't know why all this stuff just pop up on my timeline. This guy standing in front of Walt Disney World with the Winnie Pooh suit on, and at the top it had, he was fired his first day, and at the bottom it had, for putting his costume on backwards. Well, he put his...
Winnie the Oops.
Oh.
He put his pants on backwards and put his head on, and the little thing was just sticking.
Are you serious?
I
I missed.
you
How
know,
did I miss
The
that?
little tail
The
became...
little tail became
Another-
anatomically incorrect.
Yep. The Winnie the Pooh weenie.
Yeah,
Saying hello.
and I don't know why I get all this stuff. I just be minding my business.
Well, it seemed like a year ago you must have showed some interest in it for it to pop back up. That's all I'm saying. And it said, search clown paint and Winnie the Pooh costume.
Clown paint. I love it.
So let me tell y'all what's going to be happening on September the 20th. We will be starting our paranormal and true crime show, which will be hosted by Willie, Mackie, myself, and Brandon Mahan. Is that right? Why do I always say
That's
that?
correct.
Right? Oh, that's correct.
I could
So,
talk on the show too.
Yeah,
How
look
about
at
that?
you.
Look at that.
I want to give Brandon a big shout out though for directing and producing, and just really, I'm really appreciating all this luxury.
This is luxury.
Thank you. This is great.
He didn't tell you after tonight you're kicked out after the plane conversation.
Right. Well, all I can say is it was fun while it lasted. Let me tell you. So we're
Go back to the back room of the page.
Oh, let's talk about that Winnie the Pooh costume again. No. So September the 20th, we will, I don't know what day yet of the week it'll be. That's going to be the day that we'll be filming. And I'll let y'all know on the exact day of the week that it'll be broadcasted. But we'll be doing the true crime and paranormal show. And you will not want to miss our debut show. It's going to be about axe murders. So we go from that to axe murders. Mm-hmm. And our guest is going to be Todd C. Elliott. He wrote a book about the Axeman in New Orleans. We also will have Brandon on because he is just wonderful, and he's doing a documentary about the Axeman. And also we'll be having, that'll be calling in Sam Baltrushis, who is a descendant of the Borden family, as you know, Lizzie Borden. So we're going to be talking about our theories about the Axeman of New Orleans and some other axe murders that have happened long ago in the U.S. and see what we can come up with that. So,
What do you think cleaned that plane up?
You know what? All I know is they need a Congressional Medal of Honor. Let me tell you, they do. Don't
The
they?
little guy, could you imagine that? The little guy, well, I just sent this plane out and you're coming back. What's wrong?
Can you imagine? And then in the little things where you do the oxygen, there's a little, like the Febreze things hanging down, like the car. The car.
They should have just sealed it up and sent it to the
plane wash.
bio waste.
Plane wars.
The plane wash.
I don't know.
Well, we need to. I'm
Look, we're gonna look into
research
this.
it. Oh yeah, I have.
Live
We
from
gotta-
Atlanta.
But I would like to have him on the show because I would like to know what it felt like to walk in that plane and look back there and say, "What the hell?"
I want to have the guy from afar on the show, like way over there.
Satellite him in.
Yeah,
We can do that. We got Brand. We can do it.
Yeah, we can do it.
We
Brandon
can
can
do
do it. We want him satellite in. We want
That's
to find
right.
out what he ate.
I don't want that guy. I don't.
No, I want that guy, but from satellite, because I want to know what he thought. Did he have to go down the aisle when people were still sitting there, or did they clear out the plane and then he had to do the walk of
Shame.
real
It had to
shame,
be
y'all? Shame on you, and walk. And they're like, okay, gate 8 is now clear. The subject has left. And I mean, like, people were staring and
I
taking.
wouldn't walk behind him. I'd just sit there till he
Yeah.
determinalized or something.
I know, but people, like everything's like on camera, and when you guy walk by or whatever, they're probably like, follow, there's video
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah,
And
there's
he's like
video.
principal of a school or something.
Yeah.
I think he worked at Nichols. Yes. So anyway, wait, do we know that guy? No.
This end.
Right, it's gonna end right now. We could talk about this all night. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And you know what I really need you to do? From me, from my heart, I need you to really go and hit the like button, but subscribe to our channel. We need to build those numbers up. We're fast approaching 1 billion. We need 2 billion. No, but we really need those numbers built up. So if you can like, share, comment, all of the above, really, really appreciate that. So we will see you next Wednesday, where we'll be live at the Always Lounge. And thank you, Rodney. I love you. I do. Appreciate all that you do. Great friend.
Always be a guest whenever you want me. Whenever you'll have me.
Well, just don't go to Taco Bell.
Well,
okay.
I didn't stop to eat at Taco Bell.
Okay, thank you.
Way over.
So I do appreciate all what you're doing. Good luck and best wishes on your fundraiser for Saturday. If I can, I'll be there. Just really a great thing that you do. And I know you always put your heart and everything into it. Willie, thank you so much, my friend, my co-host.
Always.
We're here. And Brandon, thank you so much for all of this.
Yeah.
And thank you to our listeners / viewers, friends, everybody. Have a good night. Love you.
Let's talk about it. We gonna feel your love.